Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the second episode of my amateur cast video series. I went ahead and I'm going to go ahead and start from the beginning of the game this time. That's a good change of pace. And this is actually, I'm offering it to spectate people's games and pretty much do an analysis slash cast of their game, and so I don't have to pick from just the featured games anymore. And so this is actually around a Diamond 5 slash high plat level. I'm spectating Your Worst Nightmare. He is the star player of this game, or at least the person I am spectating off of. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm just going to go ahead and discuss the picks and all that. And so for the blue team, it looks like we have a Thresh Caitlyn bot lane. It's a fairly strong bot lane, to be honest, against a Vayne Soraka lane, which I personally think that Thresh and Vayne have a bit better synergy than them, namely because Vayne isn't really an amazing early game damage dealer, and she can get out harassed and pretty much out traded by Caitlyn early on. Though she does have a good all-in at level 6, Soraka doesn't quite have the same all-in potential. And so I think that even though that Vayne gains a pretty significant power spike at 6, that the all-in of Thresh Caitlyn will be far better, since Soraka is a sustained support. And I also think that instead of Soraka, something like Leona would have been a bit better, even if it is a Vayne lane, or someone like Braum, Taric, one of those supports that can keep her safe while also being able to like do damage and trade and all that. Okay, so let's go ahead and change the overlay real quick. There we go. The game is now starting. But yeah, we'll have to see how that lane unfolds. If Vayne and Soraka can survive, though, and Vayne can just farm up, then she's going to be a good presence in teamfights still. And come on, there we go. On to the mid lane. I thought it was TF for a second, but I guess not. It's going to be, it looks like Ahri mid versus Zed mid. And that's a pretty even lane matchup, to be honest. Not really too much to say there. It all just depends on the skill of the players. I do see that Ahri took Exhaust. That's going to be pretty decent for nullifying Zed's all-in at level 6. But we'll see how that plays out. Now, this top lane, I think Jace has a bit of an edge here, in just the champion aspect. Mainly because he has good answers to whatever tryndamere can do. Like, he can knock him away if he goes in on him, he can engage and just outpoke him, etc, etc. But if tryndamere gets a good all-in, then he all-ins better than Jace, if he's allowed to actually get his stuff off and to stay on Jace. As for the jungles, so let me go ahead and align these real quick. Looks like it's going to be a Jarvan jungle versus a TF jungle, which Jarvan has a huge lead in there. Well, I could be wrong in that. I did take a break from the game for a few months, and I've heard that TF jungle got pretty strong, but that it was pretty heavily nerfed as well. And Jarvan he's stayed a dominant jungle throughout pretty much the entirety of S4, and he's still a dominant jungle, and he's just extremely strong, so I would still give him the edge even if TF has gotten a bit better, or has gotten actually viable in the jungle. Okay, let's see here. There we go, everything's matched up. And it looks like nobody's doing anything too sketchy. We might have seen an invade there, but I guess no, they're just looking for vision and trying to make sure that the blue team doesn't invade. And everyone's pretty much just going to standard positions. Mid laner AFKing at mid tower, as per usual, instead of actually sitting somewhere in a bush. That's something I would heavily recommend doing, by the way, is doing something like either Ahri did something pretty nice, is she actually laid her ward down. But the river is almost always going to be where someone invades from. In literally like 99% of cases, there's almost no other alternative. People are going to invade from the river if they invade, and so laying down an early ward or sitting in a bush in the river is always better than just sitting at your turret AFK pretty much. And it prevents problems from happening. So even if a problem doesn't happen when you do AFK at mid, it would have been better to just give vision to your team instead of doing it, because of just in case, really. But despite that, nobody invaded, so it's fine. This is going to be typical starts. Blue team starting Golems, red team starting Gromp. And let's see here. Nothing really too special happening. Let's see, not any unusual item choices either. Everyone's pretty much going stereotypical start. Thresh doing the good choice of picking up Ancient Coin over, what's that thing called? Relic Shield. There we go. I personally prefer Ancient Coin and Thresh because Thresh doesn't get the execute part, and so AD carries can be quite frustrated at Threshes who don't actually get the last hits and just mess them up. Some good harass going down on the Vayne. Though the CSs are the lackluster bot, both of them pretty much got half the wave of the first wave. Though actually there are more minions alive for the blue team. Let me respond real quick. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to turn chat off real quick just so that I don't get distracted anymore. Okay, there we go. Anyways, back to the game. Also, I'm going to go ahead and do this for now. It looks like, putting that back, the blue team bot lane is getting quite a bit more CS than the red teams, mainly because they're pushing the turrets. And at level 1 to 2, before you get any more damage items, it can be really hard to CS under turret, because you don't one-shot either melee, or you do one-shot melee minions who have been hit twice by only the tower, but you don't one-shot caster minions who have been hit once. Whereas once you get like another Doran's Blade or a long sword, you do. So it can be kind of hard at the early levels to CS under tower. And that's a good job by Kate and Thresh to push them up, though they are leaving themselves a bit vulnerable to ganks. They do have a slight ward there. I mean, that's not a very good ward spot, because honestly, if Jarvan came from like right here, they wouldn't be able to do anything from this position. Oh, it looks like there was a first blood coming in from Jace. I'm going to go ahead and rewind a tiny bit, just so we can go ahead and catch that. Rewind a tiny bit more. Okay, so the tryndamere goes in on Jace, and it looks like Jace pretty much just uses his combo on him to burn him down, but he did that because TF was coming in. I do think he should have waited a bit longer, though, for TF to actually come with a stun, but it didn't really matter in the end because they traded 1-for-1, with blue team coming out slightly ahead because of the assist gold. It's pretty much, and actually slightly ahead, but only a tiny bit, because Jace got first blood gold, which is 400, and tryndamere got TF got 300, and tryndamere got 150, so they came out 50 gold ahead with that trade. So it's not the end of the world for either team. But it's a bit more beneficial to not trade 1-for-1, especially because the enemy top laner got the kill instead of tryndamere, and so now he's down even more than just from that small CS lead. He's down about, let's see here, Jace has 1600, he has 1300, so about 300 gold, which it is pretty large at this stage in the game. It's not game-breaking by any means, but it'll definitely help Jace. Looks like there's another skirmish in top lane. They're actually going pretty even so far, mainly because tryndamere has an ability to heal that up, but he is forced to burn his flash because he went a bit too hard and took too much minion damage. And that's kind of unfortunate. And Jace does not have his flash either, so pretty much both summoners are down for both players. And the lane is fairly even, actually, because that tier isn't really going to help Jace too much other than being able to spam his abilities more, but tryndamere doesn't really have to worry about mana in the first place, so for the most part, it's even. In the mid lane, though, we have a huge lead for Zed. Well, I guess not a huge at this point, but it's fairly significant. Oh, but we have action bot lane. There is a gank coming in onto, and Thresh might be going down, though he does burn. He uses his flash, and I don't think he's gonna die from this. Nope, he missed the turret, or else he might have had a chance of dying. But just forced to burn his flash. And the heal coming out from Caitlyn as well, so 2 summoners burned. That's a pretty good gank. But back to what I was saying mid, Zed has a current 15 CS lead, and has an item finished, Brutalizer, instead of just a 2 Doran's items. And so this all-in might actually work. The exhaust goes down, though, and so that nullifies the damage. And that was pretty nicely played. But, oh, snap. He uses the triple shuriken, because he still had the shadow over there, as well as his W, to kill Ahri. That was a lot of damage coming in at once. So well played by Zed. And that gets red team off to a pretty decent lead here. Up in top lane, it looks like tryndamere is actually faring pretty well in the health, in the way of health. However, the CS differential is pretty large, and yeah, the gold lead is now 600 instead of just 300. So that's gonna be pretty tough to come back from, to be honest. It looks like the Rush is trying to make something happen. The hook missing hugely though, and so Vayne is going to get some free shots in on Caitlyn and Thresh, and not really punished too much for it since Soraka can just heal her back up. Overall, the blue team is still ahead in bot lane, and very slightly because of that CS difference. It's only like 120 gold, so it doesn't really matter too much though. Small skirmish mid. They both come out pretty even. Ahri's only level 5 though, that's something to note, whereas Zed is level 7. So whenever Zed's ult is up next, he can probably get a kill on that. I mean, she's going to be 6 by that time, but still, that's a decent lead. And TF coming in for the gank bot lane, forcing out Soraka's flash. Only time will tell if that's worth it. And TF ults for a flash. Because TF's ult cooldown is pretty long, isn't it? Let's see here. It's 180 seconds. So it's not quite as long as a flash. He's not going to be able to gank it like that again for 3 minutes. And he only got a flash from the support out of it. So not really too effective, to be honest. Though Ahri is level 6 now and is trading pretty well with Zed. She does not have the exhaust up this time, so if Zed is able to get some damage in, he will kill her. A good play by the Zed, going all in on Ahri and just completely expanding his gold lead. It looks like he now is up by 1,200 gold, so it's a huge lead in mid lane. And this is why you always want to ban Zed in solo queue, because Zed is actually extremely strong right now. Like, extremely strong. And let's see here. I need to respond to something real quick. There we go. Okay. Back to the game. It looks like tryndamere is forced pretty low under turret, though he does have his ultimate, but he did not pop it in time. So Jace getting off a kill on him, burning his ignite and his Q to do it. So well played by Jace, taking... It looks like top and mid are really the ones that are gaining the huge leads here. I mean, it's not like over by any means for the top and mid players of blue team, but these leads are pretty strong. It's 1,000 up top, or actually about 900, and in mid lane it's about 1,300. So they really should need to kind of work on getting their top and mid players back into the game for blue side. Bot lane doing pretty good for itself, but at this rate, they're not really going to be able to carry too much, since they're fairly even to the red team's bot lane. And with a Vayne is going to be useful late game anyways, as long as she gets her items. And she's farming pretty okay. She's 10 CS down, but that's not really a huge deal. Because it is Vayne versus Kate. Like, Vayne Soraka versus Kate Thresh. That's actually pretty impressive, that she can have that much CS. And it looks like there is another all-in from Zed onto Ahri. The exhaust is popped. We'll see if that... Okay, yeah, Zed gets another kill on the Ahri. The exhaust not quite enough to nullify enough damage, so it looks like there is another skirmish top lane. And tryndamere might actually get the best of this time. The flash goes in from Jace, and oh, it's so close, and tryndamere does get the kill on Jace. That is very well played by tryndamere. He really needed that. That was really close, too. Both flashes burned up top. Looks like tryndamere burned his ignite. But overall, that was definitely worth it. And so now he gets a bit of farm, and a bit of a chance to catch up. But Jarvan does come in on bot lane and keep being forced to burn her flash. Thresh also flashing and hooking Jarvan back in. That's a very strange choice. He should have just probably backed out, and Vayne burns her flash for some reason. That's kind of awkward. In that case, even if that heal wasn't burned, there was no way that Vayne was going to get the kill with just an E, because her E doesn't really do much damage if it doesn't connect with a wall, which there was no wall behind him, as well as it's only level 1, so a bit of a misplay there, but it didn't really, it's not, like, I don't know, a bit of a misplay there. I'll just leave it at that. Oh, a nice hook by Thresh, but I don't think they're going to be able to do anything. Oh, the Ahri is here, though, and Ahri uses her ult, Flash charms the Soraka, and they do get a kill on the Soraka. Well played by Ahri, that was a good gank. Though Thresh needs to be careful here. He is out of mana. And Ahri does not have her ult or flash to charm the Vayne. But it looks like he's just going to back out here. But that was a nice gank by Ahri, helping out the lanes because she isn't doing very well mid. And if they can try to build a lead on Caitlyn, they might still be in this. Oh, ouch. 2 turrets at once for the red team going down. And so now the gold lead is about 2k, which, it's a pretty decent lead. Not gonna lie. 2k at 12 minutes, that's pretty decent. And Vayne is doing her job pretty well, though. She's just going ahead and farming up the best she can, going for the Blade of the Rune King, and once the team fights roll around, she will be ready to participate. The gank's coming from the Zed onto the tryndamere. We will see if this works. Tryndamere does have his ult, so I don't think they're going to get a kill here, but they are definitely trying. Oh, tryndamere burns his ult. I think they might actually get a kill on him, but TF does not come in. He just ults, and the kill does go down on tryndamere. The Zed is getting pretty fed in this case, and he probably has his blade now. Let me check the gold. Yeah, he does have enough gold for Blade of the Rune King, so it's going to make his ganks and fights just even more significant. A nice pink ward pick off. And Jarvan does come in. It looks like they're not really able to do anything with that, though. With the Lantern going out to get Caitlyn away from the wall, Vayne is not able to condemn, and Jarvan, I guess he didn't have his ult, so he did have his ult, but he just didn't use it. Okay. Well, the Lantern would have saved him from that anyway, so or her from that anyway, so it doesn't matter. A good Lantern, or not a good a good hook, but not able to follow up because at this point, I actually think that Soraka and Vayne have a good chance of being able to come out ahead in a fight. Especially with Soraka having her exhaust up, whereas Thresh's wasn't. And Jarvan was nearby for that matter. Though he probably wouldn't have been able to follow up. Blue team did not know that. Ooh, nice dodge from the on the cake combo from Vayne. I'm gonna leave this up actually. It gives us useful details. It's not really worth the extra vision just to have it off. And Jarvan comes in, he's probably going to use an ult, and Caitlyn's flash is not up, she's forced to use her E, ignoring the Thresh Lantern, but she does get out of it, so that was effective. I think if Vayne was a bit more proactive in using her Cutlass, that would have been better for them, though. But there is this fight top. It looks like tryndamere is going in on this. Oh, but there is a 4-man gank bot, actually, and it looks like Zed is going to pick up the kill on Thresh. CF coming in. What is he going to be able to do, though? Caitlyn falling. It is now a 4 versus 1, and TF is not going to be able to do anything to save this turret. And that's likely going to be equal a dragon and a tower for red team. Let's see where they rotate after this, but I would be very surprised if they didn't rotate to dragon. Okay, yep, there we go. The call on dragon goes out. It looks like Ahri's trying to pick up the mid turret, but there's just not enough minions currently to actually do it. Though, if they don't send someone mid to stop her, she might be able to get it anyway. Okay, Zed moving up towards the mid lane, and Dragon does go down to red team. Soraka needs to be careful, though. Holy shit, that's a really low Soraka. This doesn't really matter anyway, nobody's nearby, but... Very well played by red team, getting an objective lead. Or rather, further objective lead. And they really are going to want to shut down this Zed pretty soon. He has 137 CS at the 15-minute mark. 6-0. He has a large lead. And it looks like tryndamere is going to try to do something with the Jace, but I don't think it's going to work out. His ult is up, but he's just too low and doesn't have enough damage. Though Thresh is here to help out if they choose to do something. Though the hook does miss, and tryndamere goes in anyway. It looks like tryndamere is going to die, but will he pick up the kill on the Jace? No, he will not. A very nice counter gank by the Jarvan, though I guess it was really just counter ganking a support, so they were going to win that fight anyway, but still a nice counter gank to prevent the kill on Jace from going down. And let's see here. Oh, that's unfortunate. Looks like Thresh has left the game. I can't tell if that's because of a DC or because he just rage quit because of his team being behind. I hope it's just DCing though, and that he will be back. Let's see here. Bot lane is actually still pretty even for the most part. Vayne has a slight gold lead because of the objectives as well as the kill. But for the most part, there's no like clear victor of bot lane. Zed getting another kill on Ahri. That old pop... Oh, I guess the old pop didn't kill her. But TF coming down to the blue card. It looks like he's probably going to just die here. Unless... Nope. Okay, yeah, he's going to die to Zed. And Vayne is going to survive because of a clutch heal from Soraka. That was very well played by Soraka. Nice job, Soraka. Though, I'm not sure if... She probably would have lived anyway. But still, that was good looking out, Soraka. Getting the heal in just to make sure that the Caitlyn doesn't get a return kill on the Vayne. And so a 2-for-0 exchange for the red team, and they were likely going to get this turret as well. And so that makes it a 4v5 with the red team being the 5 and having a huge lead in this game. It's looking pretty bleak for blue team so far. And Zed going for the mid turret. He doesn't look like he's actually going to get it because he's running out of minions, but... Oh, he might. He's going to go for it. And he just barely picks it up without taking any extra damage. So the gold lead extended to an 8k gold lead. And look, they're probably going to start grouping up pretty soon. The tryndamere goes in on the Zed. However, it does not actually work out. It looks like the tryndamere is going to die. The Zed is going to pop out. And let's see if he can get a kill on Ahri. Soraka is trying her best to do something here, and he goes for it. He misses the shurikens. Ahri uses Zanya's, but she goes down anyway. There's just too many red team members to actually do anything. Though Vayne needs, needs to be careful there. And she does go down to the TF gank. Not able to withstand the damage. Looks like it's an 80 TF too. And Jarvan and Jace going bot lane to try to get a kill on Caitlyn, but it doesn't quite work. It looks like they're just really posturing to push in all lanes and try to get kills at the moment on blue team. And the mid lane inhibitor turret goes down. They're probably going to group up pretty soon to go ahead and take the inhibitor. If Jarvan doesn't... Okay, yeah, he's going to back out of that. That's what they should do anyway. They pretty much have full map control right now. They have pretty much all except for one of their turrets are up, and that's in top lane. They have good vision. It could be better, but they don't really need that much vision at the moment anyway. They have wards in the top jungle as well as a pink in the river. And considering their lead, they don't really need much else right now. Whereas blue team doesn't really have any vision except for near their bot lane, these two wards. And they don't really help out that much. Oh, and this ward didn't try, but that's about to run out. Okay, getting back to directed camera, let's see here. The Jace might be in trouble here. Oh, but he does pick up the kill on Ahri before falling to the Caitlyn. A nice pick off on Jace, though it won't really matter in the long run too much because Thresh still has not come back, but getting an 80 carry bit of gold. A shutdown nonetheless. And I'm wondering why red team isn't just grouping up and pushing mid. Because they have a naked inhibitor. They probably could. Been getting some nice damage down on Tryndamere. Vayne's kind of at that point where she can put out a lot of damage, especially if she uses her ult. So yeah, her laning phase was successful. She got even more farm than Caitlyn, as well as pretty much good kills, good gold from objectives, and she is a-okay even if they did have the rush. The gank goes down on the Caitlyn from Jarvan Zed, and directed camera totally just ignored that and to watch this Vayne just auto attack an inhibitor. Okay, that works, I guess. And the inhibitor will fall. It looks like they also won't be able to get the kill on Vayne. So the first inhibitor of the game has fallen. I wouldn't be surprised also if they group up to get Baron pretty soon to be able to push in the other lanes. And they're trying to get a kill in on Zed here. They're doing some pretty nice burst, and it looks like Zed will fall. He was overextending a bit too much without his team there. So well played by the blue team. If only they could do anything with this, like getting a tower or a dragon or a baron even, but it doesn't look like they will be able to, because the red team is just going to win this skirmish pretty flat out, getting kills on Tryndamere and TF. Though Ahri and Caitlyn do take down Jace in the bot lane, it just still wasn't quite worth it. 2 for 2, and red team is pushing hard into their base. The flash is going... Oh, it looks like they surrendered. Okay. Well, that was kind of a one-sided stomp, but I hope you guys enjoyed the game anyway. And I will go ahead and just say if you want your own ranked game casted, then please feel free to add me. My IGN is GreaterDavie. I will put that in the video description. And go ahead and add me. I'll go ahead and spectate a game and cast it like this. I'm just looking for anyone who wants their games casted and doing them. It doesn't really matter what rank you are. I am open for anything at the moment. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any tips or any criticisms for my casting or analysis, please feel free to leave them in the comments section, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of your night, guys.